Hey folks, you're watching Synthesis Movement. I am Ken Jenkins, the physical therapist that your soccer coach went to when his groin hurt so bad he couldn't coach soccer or play basketball anymore. He's all better now. I've got Clay Holmes with me. Clay throws baseballs really fast for a lot of money. And we're proud of him for that because he does such a great job. And he's going to help me demonstrate the fixed shoulder complex. We're looking at developing the force couples and the stability around not only the shoulder blade and the almighty rotator cuff, but also translating that through the limb and through the trunk so that we're actually utilizing that in a meaningful way so we can translate it to sport and everyday life. So without further ado, we're going to get into it. We've got to start off with the people's elbow and we're going to drop it. All right, so I'm going to get up against the wall. I want my hands right at about eye level. All right, and that's going to be a little different for everybody. And then I want my feet back so that I'm forming about a 45-degree angle with the wall. Doesn't have to be, again, super precise. We just want a little bit of tension through the shoulders. Wherever is meaningful and approachable for you in this position, get there. From here, I'm thinking about trying to get my shoulders away from my ears, and I'm going to drop my elbow towards the wall and press back out. We can bring our hands down the wall for an increased challenge. We can bring our hands up the wall and our feet closer for a decreased challenge. But the big thing that we want to preserve is this nice tight abdomen, not letting the ribs flare out real badly, not losing the spinal position. So we're going to have Clay show us what that looks like. So his hands are nice and high, eyes are straight forward. We've got these ribs drawn in, and he's just going to drop the elbows down. You can see that he has a whole lot of tension through the back here. He's not letting his head get into a funky position, but we're getting a lot of load to the elbows, through the triceps, through the subscap, all the way down to the lats, into the low back. You feel all this happening?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And he's pretty strong. His arms are pretty meaningfully loaded on a regular basis. So if he's feeling it, you'll feel it. So that is our people's elbow. We're gonna drop it. We're gonna move on to our next piece. We're coming into the frame at home. I think that a door frame works great. Maybe not your closet door, but a more substantial door. Always making sure that you're safe, making sure that you're using something that's not gonna fall apart on you. But what we're gonna do next, we've worked on the back side of the arm, translating force through that area. Now we're gonna kind of work on the front side of the arm into the chest, controlling load and force for that area. So we're gonna step back from our frame, and we're gonna try and drop the chest through to where it feels okay, and we're not losing, again, that rib position. If we start losing the ribs and we are falling through, then we're kind of losing the thread on maintaining our stability. So what I'm hitting here is ribs down, eyes forward, kind of coming onto the toes so I can drop my chest through the frame and then press back out of that. All right, we're gonna let Clay show us what that looks like. So you can see the shoulder blades are kind of guiding this motion. They're staying pretty packed back in the back, but we're getting a lot of loads to the front line of the body. Feeling these biceps, feeling these pecs. Yeah?
Oh yeah.
Getting a little shake at the end range. We like that. We like a little shake at end range. Tells us that we're loading it just right. All right, and we're looking for 6 to 8 of both of these movements. So now we want to follow that up. We're going to start talking to this in and out kind of horizontal adduction, abduction piece of the arm. And if you watch our fixed hip lower series, you'll see that these kind of mirror what we're doing in that complex. We're hitting the upper body just the same way that we're hitting the lower body. It's just we have more degrees of freedom and motion here. We want to be able to hit all these important archetypal positions. So we want to make sure that we're kind of loading all those archetypal positions. What we'll do here is we'll grab the outside of the door frame, and I have the privilege and the benefit of having multiple directions and degrees of freedom, but if you're following through your doorway, then you'll be kind of going this direction. Here, I'm gonna have my foot just back from the frame, my arms pressing along the whole entire door frame. I'm gonna bring up my top leg and then fall through, again, trying to keep those ribs engaged, trying to keep the ribs tight, and then pull back. My lead leg here is just to keep me from falling over. I don't want to fall on my side here. That'd be no fun. And then I'm just using my arm as the lever to kind of pull myself in and out of this position. So you can see that even as he's coming out, he's wanting to kind of rotate forward. The ribs are wanting to sway out to the side. And so he's having to fight for that stability, fight for that position, while maintaining this tension through the shoulder and under the entire range. That eccentric loading through the shoulder complex, asking that rotator cuff to maintain stability and control. We're challenging it just a little bit, yeah?
Oh yeah, it's fun.
All right, and then we'll use our fourth piece to kind of really talk about centrating the humeral head in the glenoid joint. We want to be able to control that shoulder through a big range. So what we'll do is we'll get our hands on either side of our frame, but what we're going to do is fall in kind of this big arcing pattern, pushing in and out of the range and breathing through. We can get a little closer to the door and come all the way through the door, so that we're really checking the end ranges of those positions, checking into the joint capsule itself, but only if it's pain-free and feels smooth and natural. Perfect. His shoulder looks good. So he looks great here. This is the one that I anticipated him doing the best at. We can see we've got a little bit of shift through the hips. We're having to control the whole body here, and that's why this is so valuable, is when you control the shoulder in isolation, fine, great, good. But when we take it out of that isolation position and then ask it to work in the entire system under load, then we start seeing the whole body responding to that stimulus. We see a lot better outcomes. All right, that's been Synthesis Movement, the fixed shoulder complex. We appreciate you being here. Share it with your friends, join the movement. All right, folks, that was part of the Synthesis Movement system. It is a continuum, so we start at the beginning, the spiral primer, and we work our way along. We'll have more videos in the future, pending feedback and support. If you find something that you need answers to, if you have a burning desire to know more, hit us up in the comments. Like, subscribe, and share all the stuff. Use the algorithm to our advantage to get the word out that this is the program that is helping people feel better. If you found this video useful, and if you can afford it, go to patreon.com/synthesismovement to help us continue this program, continue this project. Join the movement. Let's get people moving well towards health.